In this one, we're going to be creating a comment and delete view that allows our users to confirm that they want to delete this. Meaning, if they accidentally press delete, then it's going to take them to this new page to say, confirm that you actually want to delete this, and then it'll actually delete it, and then redirect them to the content object that the comment is on. So wherever the comment actually originates from. So in our case, it's a blog post, but of course, you could use this in many other places. All right, so to do this, let's go ahead and jump into our views.py, and I'll say define, and this will be comment_delete, and it's going to take in a request. We're also going to take in an ID, and then we're going to do some stuff in here. First of all, we're going to do get object or 404. It's going to be very similar to the comment thread, so we'll go ahead and do that, get object or 404. And all we want to do here is, if it's a GET request, so just a standard GET request, we're just going to render out a form that says, are you sure you want to delete? So we'll go ahead and return render and the request, and then we'll do confirm delete.html, and then the context will be just the object. Let's put it into a context dictionary as we have, and context equals object is obj. Okay, so now that we've got this, we are going to create our confirm delete HTML document. So inside of templates, make a new file, save it as confirm delete.html, and we're going to do a lot of the same sort of stuff that we've seen before. So I'm going to actually just grab the comment thread itself, copy that, and go into confirm delete and paste that out. Realistically, all we want to do is keep a couple things, and that is the main div stuff. So I'm going to get rid of this object here and just put it down here. And then we're going to we can get rid of all of these other things if we want, but I'm just going to leave them. All right, so all we want to do here is say, put this into a paragraph tag, and we'll say, are you sure you want to delete? And we'll just say object. Put those in quotes, and then put a question mark and a closing paragraph tag. We'll close off this hidden input thing here, and we're just going to say confirm. This is a button that's just saying confirm, that's all. If we want to hit cancel, all I'm going to do is also have a cancel link, basically, so a href equals to, and this is going to be object.get absolute URL. This is really just a button to say, hey, we actually don't want to do that, so I'm going to change the class for the confirm button, and then for cancel, I'll just use default. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. We have our view, we have a template for it, and now back into our URLs, we're going to actually import this, and this is comment delete. And we can actually uncomment out the other one. I'm not going to use slug like it has here. I'm going to use the ID as we've talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And let's take a look at this. And we'll go into our posts, view post. We have a comment here, so let's go ahead and look at the thread and then hit delete after. And all we see here is, are you sure you want to delete CFE? That's not actually what we want. So we will probably want to see a little bit more detail there. So comment thread, we'll just do comment.content just like that. So in confirm delete, we'll do object.content. So that way we can see, are you sure you want to delete? Another reply to that. And I'm going to just put an H1 tag here and just say confirm delete. Save that, refresh. There we go. So this is really simple. We have a actual form here that has post data that says, are you sure you want to delete? We don't actually have the functionality for it, but we do have this form. So if I came in here and hit confirm, nothing seems to happen, right? So it's actually trying to send post data to our backend, but it's actually not. If I hit cancel, it does take me back. It does take me to the comment thread, which is nice. But let's go ahead and hit confirm and change it so it actually does something. So inside of our view, we're going to say if request.method equals to post, then we're just going to say object.delete. But before I do that, I'm going to get the content, the object's URL, or I mean the content object's URL. So we'll say content, or let's say just call it parent object URL equals to object.content object.get absolute URL. There's a lot going on here. I'll explain this in a second. And then we're going to return HTTP response redirect to that parent object URL after it's deleted. And of course, we could also add a message. So messages.success and request. And then this has been deleted. Okay. So now that we've got this, let's go ahead and try it out again. It says this has been deleted. Perfect. It actually did delete that item, which we could check out by going to another one. So another new comment here. So another thread. And we just go to delete, confirm delete, hit confirm, boom, and it's gone. So each one is coming down quite a bit, right? So let's see what's going on here again, and let's just kind of wrap it up. What we have here is, first of all, we're getting the object based off the ID. That's fairly straightforward. We're checking whether or not the request method is post. Now, the reason we're doing this is only because we wanted to add that confirmation step. If we didn't want to have that confirmation step, if we just wanted it to be a URL, we could just basically do all of this stuff right here. Just do that inside of the GET request. That is, we could just cut this out, paste this here, and just completely do that if we didn't want a confirm delete page. But since we did want a confirm delete page, we added this request method of post, meaning when they go to that confirm delete page, when they do a GET request to this URL, it actually requires them to submit a blank form. The form doesn't have anything in it other than that it is a post request, right? So it's the post method. So then we delete it. Before we delete it, we want to get the parent object URL. So object being the model itself, so the instance, and then the content object being where it actually exists on, which this content object, this is an object. So if it doesn't have an object, this will raise an error. And then finally, get absolute URL. If it does not have get absolute URL, it will also raise an error. So our get absolute URL is coming from the post model, and we did define it ourselves, right? It's actually in here. This is something we did a while ago, but it is definitely something that we did. So that is comment delete. This is a view that's fairly straightforward, and it's actually a pretty common view as far as deleting things. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.